We were just talking about this during the break. Do you feel like Cam Ward did not have a dazzling performance this past week? He's got 2 more shots. This feels very much like it's Travis Hunter's award, the Heisman Trophy right now, Leroy. Do you feel like, is there any late rally here? If Cam has 2 monster games and gets his team into the playoff, is the Heisman still a possibility for Cam Ward? Because it feels like Hunter is putting a pretty strong grip on it. He'll definitely go to New York, I think, for one of the final spots.
The one thing that will separate the two is winning, right? What is happening in Colorado is amazing. That dude plays so much football every weekend.
Yep.
And what he is doing for that team is incredible. But the problem is that without Cam Ward, the Miami Hurricanes are nowhere. Right. And so,
I think.
But could I say the same thing about, Travis Hunter?
Yes, because I could.
Because it's all about Shedeur Sanders.
I can make to counter your argument would be this.
Go ahead.
When Travis Hunter was with the Colorado Buffaloes last season, they started out 4-0. Then he missed 4 games and they lost the next 7, which is the reason why they weren't able to go to the bowl game last season.
Oh, you talking about Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This season, he's played majority of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And they are 8-3 right now.
Right.
So you see the 4-game improvement that when Travis Hunter does, and he plays both sides of the field.
I think that's the thing. It's the both sides of the field thing. That's
here's what separates him.
It's the Shohei thing.
Here's what separates him from everybody else at the Heisman. He could be a first-round receiver, and he could be a first-round cornerback. That's unheard of.
And this is different than what Whitson and those guys were. They were certain plays. It wasn't
right.
This is every down.
Right. The thing that Cam Ward, if he's got 2 more performances, if he can put up some monster numbers in the next couple of games and just kind of blow it out of the water, puts the Canes in a spot where they've never won the ACC before. I think that's gonna be a top 10 matchup against SMU, so that's gonna be a pretty big statement game.
That would be key. Is that now? I think the voting's done before that.
No. The championship game's the last one. That's the last.
No. When I think the voting for the Heisman is before that, because
some people do vote early.
No. The voting is done well before the Heisman is given. So while they play another game, what if Colorado doesn't play in their championship game?
It says that the ballots are given out the 2nd. They are due the 9th.
Right.
The ACC championships the 7th.
Right.
All the championship games are the 7th.
On the 7th.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
He'll have that opportunity
because that's their last official game.
Yeah, but it would almost suck. So, and I'm not saying this one way or another, but it would suck if you don't play in the championship game and the guy you're competing against the Heisman with balls out in the championship game.
It would, but I would say it would. I would say it would, but I don't feel like it's a stats to stats argument as far as it. It's like I do feel like Travis's case is kind of already. I play both sides. My team's a top 25 team.
Right.
Like it's an 1,000-yard season receiving. I'm an elite cornerback. Like his statistical case is kind of already made. Like Cam is the one who needs the
right. But what
I don't even feel like it's a signature. I feel like he needs like that one signature. Like boom, I did something for the Canes that's never been done. He just passed Bernie Kosar. He passed. It was cool of Bernie to put the tweet out for him for the record for passing yards. I don't think it's done for Cam Ward yet, but it certainly feels like with that wasn't a and I say this in a game where he had 3 total touchdowns. Like he had 2 passing and 1 rushing. Like his standard is just so crazy high, and then I feel like he almost has to have, because everybody's on it's such a narrative thing. And so like now that everybody's on the Travis Hunter train, not saying that he doesn't deserve it, but it's like you got to now do something up the level even more to get that.
I think the other thing is that I'm more than sure there's some people that look at Cam and see his kind of nonchalantness about the job, right? About the position and get turned off by it, right? Like they don't see the work. They don't see all the.
Although I think on its personalities, I think Cam probably, if you asked him about Heisman, wouldn't give it any gas at whatsoever.
Right, like
whereas Travis is doing the Heisman every game. He's
every
doing
game.
the post.
Every game. Correct. So that's it. But I would say, does he have a couple of weeks to fix it? And now my thing is, I hope they both make it to the championship game. Because then you would see their impact,
Mm-hmm.
On the biggest stage. But I don't know. I think like Cam it's unfortunate that he's going against a unicorn. And that is, look, Shohei Ohtani, and here's what I would say. Shohei Ohtani just won the equivalent of the Heisman by just taking Travis Hunter and saying you're only going to play one side of the ball, right? Because he didn't pitch. So imagine, could Travis Hunter be that dominant if he only played one of those positions?
Maybe he might be putting 2,000 yards receiving.
I don't know. But that's what
saying.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know because that's what Shohei just did. We're comparing him to Shohei Ohtani. I said, but Shohei Ohtani just basically won the MVP doing half of his job.
But that's how. Well,
it's a very bunched up conference too, so we don't really know who's getting into the Big 12 game for them too. For that scenario. So there's a bunch of 6-2 teams in the Big 12.
I do believe that. Now I will say this: if they were still undefeated, would it matter?
The Canes?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to, man, that's so tough on him. Like that,
but that's like there is no substitute for winning.
I understand, but like, everybody's having a slip up. They've lost 3 times. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
No, for sure. Like, look, the argument's gonna be dead if they don't win their last 2 games. Like, I think he's got to perform. He has to perform. They got to win their last 2 games, and he's got to ball out.
Right.
And again, I understand that I'm being greedy by his performance standards.
I just
not that it definitely wasn't his best performance against Wake Forest, and he still put up decent numbers on it.
Can we do this? The most important thing is for them to win the next 2 games. Everything else is
of course.
Everything else is gravy.
Of course.
No, you say of course.
I'm saying of course. What do you mean, dude?
I know you.
I actually think
say of course.
I actually think it was a benefit for them to go win a game where they didn't have an A+ from Cam. I thought was a great sign.
How much did he throw for?
What did he finish with? He finished with 260.
It was the most balanced. One of the most balanced games this offense has had all season.
Which is fine.
They ran for
but
250.
Hold on.
They threw for 260.
No, but if you guys saw that though, like when they really broke up, like he was not as sharp as he normally is. I know I'm being a greedy pig, but he was not as sharp as he was. And when they put the hammer down on Wake Forest, they handed it to Fletcher, they handed it to Lyle. They went on the run game. They said, "Bleep it, we'll just run them over."
But that's fine.
It is fine.
Like you gotta see. Here's the thing. I hate when we look at players and determine how well they did just by looking at the numbers. Because I would say this: every game calls for something different. And once you realize that you were dump trucking them up front, you would almost be doing your team a disservice to
that's
keep
fair,
trying
but
to
as you said, this team is mostly run by the engine that is Cam Ward. And so normally if you have a game, I understand, but if you have a game where Cam Ward is off, that's what I'm saying. It was a game that showed growth from them, because normally if you don't have a Cam Ward game, you are screwed.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I mean, I get it. I understand it. I'm just saying, I don't
like. What's the only?
I hate the fact that
this
is not just here.
Yeah,
this
I know.
is everywhere, where football, and especially college football, has become so much about how you look and not about winning.
That's true.
And it sucks because you're teaching. You know what? This is all in the same breath of NIL and transfer portal. And you got so many of these things to juggle where you're taking a team sport and making people individuals that at some point the sport's going to suffer.
I get you. I don't disagree with you. But I'm also putting it under the umbrella of he is going for a big individual award. It's the highest.
Yes.
It's one of the highest individual honors in all of sports.
Of course.
You know, so
of course.
And he is going up against somebody who's very unique. And I know that because the Canes play in the ACC, any loss that they have, it's gonna be like, hold on, ACC loss.
Colorado plays in the worst.
Of course, but like he's not. It's graded different because he plays two positions, so maybe it shouldn't. But
well, you have to get credit for that. Now, here's my question: what if he makes All-American at both positions?
He will.
Probably will. Yeah, I don't know.
That
pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. You go take two pictures.
He does the Spider-Man meme. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. So, like, and one of the things that why we hate these conversations, right? And one of the reasons why I hate this conversation is it almost seems like if you praise one guy, you're kind of, shoo-shooing another guy's accomplishments. And I'm trying not to do that because they're two different guys.
And I'm not doing that either because I kind of understand where it's leaning just because I know that this stuff is media based, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. So I'm trying to think like what does Cam have to do
light him up
to get him? And it feels like he's got to light him up the last 2 weeks. But getting an ACC championship against the top 10 team,
right?
That's going to be that. I think that's still like I don't think it's dead yet. I don't think the race is over yet.
No, they win the next two games. They're still in the championship game. And then you got to beat SMU. The problem
is... you only got to win one more. There's only
got to win one.
Syracuse.
The only two... Yeah, you beat Syracuse in the ACC championship game against SMU.
SMU's in.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. This could be one of the most epic championship games ever because SMU does the same crap you do. They're going to sling it all over the place. They got a quarterback who can throw it all over the yard, right? And it's going to be a matter of, and here's what I think is going to happen, is that Miami is going to suck the life out of the football and just run it and ram it down their throat. Ooh. Right? Because you don't want to expose your defense.
Especially that secondary.
Listen, hey. I know I'm never this guy, but hey, task at hand. Got to go on the road. Got to beat Syracuse. Got to. 8-3.
Wait, what's their record?
8-3.
Oh, so they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as SEC teams would be.
Yeah, but they put.
As ACC,
they can score.
They can score.
They can score.
Right.
Could be.
Who's coming down here? Arande. Going up there.
Going up there.
Arande's kid. He's out? I think he's out. Is he back?
Oh.
I know he had a tore something. Well, I'm trying to figure it was last year or
he's played. He had 100. He had 100 yards this past week.
Okay, so he's back.
11 catches, 103, one tutty for Orlando Gadsden the second.
Yep.
Sorry, Orlando.
Huh?
I wish him success.
No, you want him to have a good game.
I wish him
success,
to lose, but I wish the Orange.
But those are the kind of things where you have an offense who's, who has some talent. I always go into these games thinking, oh goodness.
I know.
Because I can't put my head on it. I can't put my finger on it. They are epically bad. And you know what it is? They wouldn't be as bad if they were disciplined. Just telling you. So if you have no talent, but you just go and cover the lanes you're supposed to cover, right? Like, at least you have a chance. But if you try to isolate and play hero ball, then you leave up at you can't, there's certain things I see on defense that's just not supposed to happen. One thing is, you hear this all the time on TV. I don't care who it is. Jennifer, Vlad, me, and you. You hear this all the time. Contain the football. You can't let that guy outside of you. Right?
Contain the edge.
That's rule number one in defensive football. Yet, when they play Georgia Tech and when they give up big runs, where's that guy go?
The edge.
Right. That's I don't know.
So then let me ask you guys. All right, let me ask you guys this. Say they beat Syracuse.
Yep.
Which we all think they should.
It'll be a good.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be. If you watch this team all season, they're gonna drag it to the fourth quarter to make it interesting, but they'll pull it out. Right? They win a shootout. against SMU ACC championship.
Mhm.
They'll probably be what, the 4th seed maybe, if they win the ACC championship. No worse than 5, but
They
probably
could be.
4.
They could be the 3. Like there's been a lot of
Yeah.
as long as
Right,
It depends
everything's-
on how highly ranked of a conference
Highly
champion.
ranked. But keep
champion
in
you
mind,
are.
a lot of these teams will have to play each other.
Yeah.
So that means one of them's going to automatically drop out of it, and that's going to push that. So here's how it goes: 5 champions,
4 best,
4 best get the bye.
and then the
The
1.
highest ranked.
Okay.
Right now, Miami,
Miami, if they win the ACC championship, they'll
they're
have
gonna-
1 loss. They'll be, I think,
a
they'll have a
3,
bye.
a 3 seed.
Yeah,
But they'll have a bye.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So that's like,
Here's my fear.
I seen some of them teams that's going to be 8 and 9.
Yeah,
With the
They don't-
Georgias,
they-
the
right, and
Yeah.
that's my fear. That
But here's what I
And
was
by the
saying.
way, look who's making their late season rank jump up the rankings.
Clemson.
Notre Dame.
Oh.
Oh,
But Vlad, let me do this.
Because
Let me say this.
you know they love the
Right.
Fighting
well,
Irish.
Let me-
if they have 1 loss, they're automatically going to be in.
They
Vlad,
lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah. Vlad, think of it this way: is that when you look at a lot of these teams that are vying for these spots, it almost seems like they're taking the SEC and saying, just put them at the bottom of the rankings. Then they'll win, and then we'll get them in.
Look, I think this is the playoff is the greatest thing that happened to the SEC because 2-loss, 3-loss teams will be in the playoffs.
Alabama's out. They're done.
I don't know if
Don't
they're
count 'em out yet.
necessarily
Don't count 'em
out.
out yet.
They are done.
I don't know if they're
They're
necessarily.
done.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm
see.
telling you, Alabama's done.
I don't know if they're done.
I hope you're right. I hope
you
you're
know
right.
what I mean?
They got what? 3?
3 losses.
There's going to be a team that's going to make the playoffs with 3 losses. I just hope you guys know that.
Hold on.
There's 12 teams.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Big Daddy Nick's gonna call up.
Let me see.
And
He's
gonna make a call to
Here.
Ward, and he's gonna say, "Come on."
I'm
You know you want 'em
gonna
in.
tell you right now. Here's what I think. So you got the 5 champions.
right.
I don't know who's playing in these championship games, but I would say then you have Indiana, Ohio State. Okay, so
Ohio State, Oregon are automatically in because the winner of that is going to get the automatic
Yeah,
bid.
whoever-
and then the thing. But then where do you go? Indiana. Indiana's gonna get into.
Right, with 1 loss, but everybody's going to look at them as a team that hasn't played anybody.
Don't matter.
I got you, but
Don't
go
matter.
ahead. All right.
So now you go to the SEC. Who's
Yeah.
even playing?
Texas is in.
Texas is number
Texas
3,
is
they're the
in.
highest ranked.
Texas is in.
Georgia.
Who's playing the championship? Texas and Georgia.
Nobody knows yet.
It's not decided.
It's not decided.
You got Tennessee.
You got A&M. Yeah, all
Well,
of them.
but here, I think because of the way it's split up in the 2 divisions in the SEC, or do they even do that? They don't
no,
do
it's the best records and the
The
2
best
highest
2
ranked.
records, the
Yeah,
2
that's
highest
what
ranked.
that's
Okay.
what the playoffs have changed
So,
everything. There's no
but-
more divisions.
So that makes it a little tough because, like, you're gonna get the 2 highest ranked teams, the 2. But what about the ties? And then here's what happens. Here's what I hate about the SEC. They rank damn near the whole team, the whole conference in the top 25. So when they beat up on each other, they talk about strength of schedule.
Right.
But then some of these teams we've seen firsthand don't look like they should be in the top 25, but they're there. They're there. So how does that play out towards the end when you have all these teams beating up on each other, but they high ranked to start off with?
Like if Texas A&M beats Texas this week,
Texas is out.
then it's
and
going
Texas
to be
is out. But Texas is
Okay.
not going to fall because Texas is only because they lost a road SEC game. They'll drop them like a spot,
right. That's what I'm saying.
and they won't even be in the championship game.
Listen,
So
man,
who
we
would be, right? So
It would probably be Georgia and A&M.
A&M, yeah,
Georgia and A&M, which means the winner automatically
automatically
goes.
gets the seed. Yeah,
Good.
that's what I'm telling you. The playoffs has caused 3-loss teams to still make it
It
to the
ain't gonna, I
playoffs.
don't think so.
You'll see. It's going
I
to
don't
happen.
think so. So Boise State's going to be in. Because they're.
Are we
still-
sure? They got 2 losses now.
Oh, that's right. They just lost.
Yeah, bro. 3-loss teams are making the
but-
playoffs,
but,
bro.
But here's the deal. No. Because keep in mind, the highest ranking non-power 5 team is in.
Okay, and who would that be?
Right now it's Boise State. That's what I'm saying.
Right now, and they still have another game to play. They haven't even
Yeah.
officially clinched the Big 12 spot.
We'll take a break. More to come here on the
My
show.
head hurts.
You look exhausted right
I'm
now.
exhausted just trying to figure it out.
Take a break. Back after this.